And we're live! Good afternoon everyone, and welcome back to another Vector 3D live stream, where today we're going to be hopefully finishing off the Vz235, and we'll be doing a first print. That is the plan. Hopefully I'm able to execute that plan. I've realised just now that there are these latch things that I need to try and assemble, and I don't really know how they work. So yes, hello to everyone. We seem to be missing a part. Poop. Midlife Chaos, Scotty Dog, Skull, Kermin, Moshin, and Sebastian. Welcome for the final. Well, I don't know if it's going to be the final stream. I want to do maybe an upgrade stream thing as well, but maybe that'll be member stream. So this could be the last mainstream stream. Yeah, that makes sense. Sure, let's go with that. So the first thing we need to get on with and hopefully finish off is the enclosure. I did have a look at trying to do the side cooling fans. I have this whole modified design, Hujima what's it, all ready to go. New parts, new holes, new everything. It uses the same original principles and sizes, but would hopefully be easier to print, easier to assemble, easier to get on the printer. But the holes in the panel are in the wrong place. I really don't want to risk like getting big cracks in the panel, drilling new holes and stuff right now. So I was just like, to save making a huge mess, maybe this will be part of an upgrade stream. To save ballsing it up right at the last minute, we'll forego that. We should have plenty of cooling with the CPAP, so I'm not too worried about it at the moment. So yes, unfortunately we are missing a piece. I've got 3 of these. I need 4. So not ideal. Let me show you what I'm doing. So these are the parts we need to try and fit. Most of the parts we need to try and fit. We've got this and this. These are part of the screen, which kind of needs to go on if we can find a way to assemble it on. The annoying thing is there's no way to manage the cable, and I haven't reprinted the new enclosure. So that needs to go on. Maybe we can just do that now. Can we do that? That should be possible. So this looks like M5 actually, strangely. So we've got these hinges for the doors. M4 by 40s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What earth are those for? I can't actually find. Maybe this is just M4. How many hours do you think you've put into building this beast so far? It'll just be the sum of the live streams plus a little bit. M3 by 35. Oh. Okay, so there doesn't seem to be a suitable length M4 screw for this panel. We need something. I guess we could use this extra long one. Hopefully we don't really need it for anything else. Do we have any M4 nuts left? you. Oh, we need those for that though. So 1, 2, 3, 4 for that, 1 for this, and then we've got 1 spare. I don't even know what this is for. Anyone have any ideas? Not sure. Good afternoon, Worst. And somebody whose name I cannot pronounce, sorry. Usumenti? That was probably an awful attempt. So we probably only need it to be like M4 by 20, but we just haven't got any left. M4 by 12, that's not going to be long enough. So let's see. That's going to go on there. So that's going to go on there. So that's going to go like so. That's a bit flaccid. Next thing we need is to mount this. It's boiled again. So since the plan is to do the first print today, we've got to work out what we're going to print first. I also realized I don't have a spool holder, so whatever we print, I'm going to have to manually feed the filament. The spool holder that is designed for this machine is supposed to mount... Well, I haven't actually printed it, I don't think, so that part of it's definitely my fault. Well, it was not in a printed parts list, so maybe not 100% my fault, but definitely partly my fault. But the intended design doesn't have... Well, it's supposed to like mount through the panel, but again, the panels don't have the holes for it. Okay, that should be kind of ready to mount. We'll get that on there in a minute. One thing I did partly off stream is assemble these top panel dooblies. So the top panel connections come in 2 parts. First printed spool holder, that's actually not a bad idea, although the original design spool holder I'm not sure is a great design. I made a modified one, maybe I'll try and export that. Okay, so the top panel things come in these 2 assembly pieces. One mounts to the frame. You push the magnet into the top, 2 screws through here, 2 nuts on the sides, 1 on each side. And then that mounts to the frame, and then you mount the magnet to this top piece and screw this through the panel. So I've already installed most of these onto the frame. So we've just got one final one to put in. I did these off stream between the streams because I was like, they can't be very exciting. Let's just get them in there. Hopefully I've showed you how it works to the extent that you could copy. And yes, we then have the panel. So you mount these to the panel. I've done 3 of them. Need to do the last one. So this goes on here. It's come through. I have modified a Voron spool holder actually, so I might do that. Just need to. The reason it's modified is the original Voron spool holder doesn't fit the wide cardboard spools that we use. That goes this way around. Kind of fits. The magnets don't really do much. They're a bit weak. That's going to be very rattly, I think. What am I doing wrong? Pretty sure that's right. There's just not much holding it down. Well, moving swiftly on. We then have the side panels. These do have some kind of corner accent pieces, but the ones that are designed have like 2 holes, but there's only 1 hole in the panel. I've got some single hole ones that kind of work with the front panel, but I've decided I'm not going to use them since they don't actually do anything in this design. You can just put a screw through the hole, so I'm just going to use the screw through the hole method and mount the panels directly on. So, as you can see, there are some other nuts installed in the frame that shouldn't be there. That's because when I was testing, I tried using these slide-in nuts, but it's very difficult to get them all in place as you put the panel in, because they're all behind the panel. So that system didn't really work, so we're moving to hammer nuts, which have their own annoyances, but should work here. They are not spinning. I think the holes are not quite in the right place. Let's use this. Yeah, I'm not sure about the situation with the top panel. It's very close to everything else, considering how tall everything else is in there. So you're right, and it looks like it might be a bit sort of collision heavy. I'm not quite sure what the design intent is. These hammer nuts are kind of annoying. They're sort of turning into place, but Most of them are not. Come on, you. I'm not a particular fan of this panel design. It's not very good. These bottom ones are moving in a little bit nicer. Got that one in. That one's gone in now. Yeah, this one's now not going to work. I don't think this top hole's in the right place. That'll just be where it be. And we're missing a hole here as well. That's going to be a bit noisy too. Let's do the one for the other side. Again, I think the holes should be bigger if we're going to still have holes. Personally, I think we should move away from using holes. The holes are just kind of annoying. Yeah, I started doing that, but then the side holes don't fit, so I have printed the parts. I'm not using them. Freaking nuts, man. Okay, that one doesn't go. That one we got. And this one. Bit of a drum. Okie dokie. So the corner parts, they're supposed to go on these panels. I think is maybe that's the ones for the top. These are the corner pieces. Which corner can you see? There you go. Look. Corner piece has 2 holes. Plastic piece has 1. Could do the top ones. Didn't bother. Why won't it go down? Oh, because my screws are going. That's probably why it doesn't hold very well. There needs to be a cutout in these pieces in the top. So the pieces that screw into the top don't allow for the screw to stick out the bottom. So unless you have the perfect length screws, which you never do, then it doesn't actually touch. The magnets don't touch, which is why they have basically no attraction. So I'm hopefully going to be getting some of the CAD for the 3D printed parts of these files soon, and I'll rework them according to what I think they could be. And then if they end up being kept, they get kept, and if they're not, then they're not. But I think the best I can do is make my suggestions. If people want to use them, they can. So we have M4 screws to hold. Before we do the back, before we do the front, rather, let's do the back. Single 1 M3 by 12. I have no idea what this is for. Uh, 3 by 16, 3 and 5 and 4, 4 by 10. I think that might work for this. You can share pictures of your own prints on my Discord. Of your own printers, rather. M4 by 10 is not enough. M4 by 12 is only going to stick out 2 millimeters. Once we've got the panel on, that's going to be basically nothing. So we need M4 by 16, which, as always, we don't have any left. Oh man, M3 by 40, M4 by 16, got my own set. Right. Heads on my ones are proper DIN 912 or whatever standard. Yeah, and their heads are too big for the holes. The Raspberry Pis are getting closer to normal price now. Ah, it doesn't fit. It's eternally frustrating. Okay, gonna have to do a bit of whiskey business on the old screw heads. That one goes up to 6, which this is going to be bigger then. I bought a Pi 0W yesterday, 0W2 rather. They were in stock. It's a bit much. 7. That might be okay. No, that's not enough. 7.5 it is. Trouble is, if their parts are too flexible, then they'll just bend instead of cut. Yep. I think what we'll do is put it in here. Gives me something I can hold on to a little bit more safely. Hopefully more safely. What a kerfuffle, eh? There we go. That's one. Might have overdone it with that one a bit. If you're doing this at home, don't bother drilling them out. Print ones that are a different size. You shouldn't need to be buying Orange Pi stuff now. I'm pretty sure Raspberry Pis are in stock basically everywhere. You don't need the like 8GB models or anything like that. Just get basic stuff. 3B and whatnot's fine. So this is just basically a nut and a screw through the knob so that you can use the knob to tighten the screw. You could just use like a standard bolt and use a tool to remove it, but this makes removing the back panel toolless, which you might find useful. That one's a little bit too much. Pom 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 pom. These look way too long now. I only want them a little bit. temperature, but okay, they're grounded. As I said, don't bother drilling them out. Make different ones, or just use a screw without the knob. Yeah, pie stock here is banging. The problem with the knobs is that you can loosen them off. Kind of on. Well, it's not going anywhere, but it's not very enclosed, is it? It prevents stray fingers, but there's lots of just open space. Right, let's give it a spin around. And then we do doors. Do doors. Do those doors. So this goes on here. Something like this. Like that there. So we'll have one of these here. One of these here. Screwed out on there. Oh, with M4 nuts that we don't have any more of. I might have some of my own M4 nuts somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 M4 nuts. Aha. Have you done firmware yet? Yes. We did firmware and turning on first moves and stuff on the last stream. So by the time I've done the panels, I'm pretty well prepared to get started with doing the actual printing. Okay, that would be all right. Right. So that's going on there, and then we've got these pins which just go in as the hinge points, I believe. But now we've got to work out these. So each one of these goes on here, something like this. Oh, I think that's actually a heatset inset. It's probably the wrong size. Yep. So that should screw onto that panel. And then you got one of these, which I think is going to lock into the channel somehow. That one doesn't rotate. Are they all the same? No. So what about this one? And I think then that's going to go on there. And that will allow so that would go on here. And then you do this. No, it doesn't work. Do this, and it locks in place. Okay, it works. So we need some M3 screws for this probably. Is that supposed to be, maybe this is supposed to be on the other way around, I don't really know. The idea is good, but the heatset insert, well, it's the wrong size for these, and none were included, so not quite sure what I'm meant to use. We can probably drill them out to be the right size. Can we assemble more of these the same though? See, these should just be symmetric, making these all weird angles. Maybe they need to be for this to work, I'm not sure. But without a marking, it's not clear which one of these goes in. That seems to work. Right, the other thing is, where's that big black piece gone? Here it is. That's got to go in here, I believe. Which blocks up the hole that the doors miss. So hopefully two of these, and we're good to go. Oh, the doors are... That's annoying. That's also annoying. And 4x10 are too long. Hello, Aussie lover. Do you have any M4x8s left? I have my own M4x6, and there's M4x10. I don't have extra M4x8. M4 washers, maybe? Space it out a bit. M4 black steel washer. Let's use some of those. How long have we going already? 43 minutes. Can we make it to first print? We must be able to. I've committed to it. Hello, Rec. So I think we might have to go without these locks. I don't know how I'm going to fix them on. Do we try and jam one of these in? Give it a go, I suppose. We'll just do two. How's this go? That one goes this way. This one goes this way. It's kind of annoying that there's not enough of the right screws and stuff, because it's, while it can be difficult to get the exact number right, especially if things can change a little bit over time, screws are not expensive. So putting in double the amount that you need or think you need would really not cost very much. It's a very solvable problem. But not having the right numbers can be frustrating. I don't quite understand why there's like 4 panels for the doors. It seems to all just revolve around this mechanism here. They've suffered the same panel as the Voron doors. Same problem, where they seem to have just added up the numbers and ignored tolerance so the doors don't. Lord help me. Oh God. Oh, please mate, just thank you. Right. Install this. I think it'd be fair to say that this doesn't really work. Oh dear. Oh, have I missed? Why not? Oh, come on, Adam. Maybe just run headless today. There's just nothing to really lock that in. And that just comes off. How did it come off? Nothing actually holds it on, that's why. I think we'll go without the screen. Because we don't really need it. We can do everything we need to do on the printer without it. Right. Let's try heat set some of these inserts into here. Maybe they did change their approach and have gone with the extra screws rather than not enough. Yeah, these are... I'm not sure what size insert they're designed for, but it's not the Voron size. Yeah, this is just the problem with, without the documentation to tell you what screws you need, you never know if you're using the right length screw. So maybe you used a 10, which you might have loads of, instead of a 12, which you might have 2 of. You get to the end and you don't have enough 10s, and you've still got your 2 12s, but you don't know where they were supposed to go. So, oh, there's no handle on the door. Just punch the door. Please say this is going to work. You know what? I think those are pretty good. They're kind of slow, but they are quite... They're secure. They're more secure than the lid, which doesn't really attach, and the doors, which are a bit wobbly. Trouble is, these are kind of precision pieces. There's not much room for error, whereas the hinges and stuff all kind of can move. So your assembly is all going to be quite dependent on, well, the functionality of the assembly is all going to be dependent on those. Okay, the doors don't fit, but they do kind of. Right. That is a machine. Get some of these bits and bobs and whatnots out the way. Bobs and bits and whatnits. Whatnits and nitwats and whatnots and stuff. It's time to do some speed printing, which is, I'm sure, what you're all here for. To watch your printer go whizzy, whizzy, wee. I do not know what noises I'm making. Anyhow. Nearly got everything. We have a printer. Oh no, I've forgotten all the filament feeding parts. Oh dear. Right, how are we going to feed the filament? Because we've got no PTFE tube in the machine. The mounts I don't have the STL for. Well, maybe they're available, but I have not printed them. And I don't have any external spool holders. But we do have this, which is a tube. Doesn't matter. It's direct feed, so it doesn't matter. It's not a problem. We've just got to work out how we're going to hold filament. I'm going to hopefully see if I can find a thing which we can use to hold filament in the meantime. Well, I suppose I could steal... I was going to say steal a spool holder off of Voron, but they won't mount on this printer. Anybody got any ideas? How can I hold... Aha! This looks like a spool holder. Doesn't look a lot like a spool holder. Doesn't fill me with confidence. I think we'll do it without the lid for now, because then I can use this on the frame. Right. Clamp spool holder. And then we've got a tube. Tube goes from here to here. No, that's not really going to work with a tube, is it? We're going to have to do tubeless, I think, today. Since we have no filaments. What material do we go with? We're quite enclosed here. But we're probably going to be messing around a bit. I might just go with PLA. There we go. Let's go with Uranus green. This is not ideal. How do I open it? I'm having second thoughts about my spool holder solution. Just wondering if I have I don't have like a Creality printer with one of those easy removable spool holders that will just mount to 2020 extrusion. The one on my V Minion is for 3030. All the Voron ones have that weird mount which needs half the extrusion. I could clamp a second. Maybe this is the solution. Anyone have any other suggestions? Just stand here with a spool in my fingers. Run it from the V2 all the way over. Use the V0.1. I mean, the V-minion is probably the easiest to... It's just kind of a space issue. I'm not going to... I don't want to run it across a room because I 100% will trip over it and break either myself or something else. Let's use this old girl. Right. This is not going to work very well, but... Oh, I've got an idea. We can just extendo this with this. I don't know how long it needs to be for the final design. Maybe somewhere around this long, hopefully. Oh, that was not good. This is really high friction for some reason. I don't think it's a PTFE tube. Oh, there's a bit of a kink. That didn't help. Right. There's no... Let's do that, I suppose. That's in. Okay. So now I can move this to the side somewhere over down here, maybe. The printer's out of the way, but the filament is still within reach. Sort of. A bit. Let's get rid of this. Right. Let's go! Time for printing. I need a power cord. Power, here you are. Plug in. Hopefully it doesn't break. Go. Woohoo! Takes a while to turn on. Right. I don't know why it takes quite so long to turn on, but it does take its sweet ass time. So what I don't know, oh, that, I think that says 0.4. Okay, there was some indication that it came with a 0.5mm nozzle, but I don't think that is the case. Right. What do we want? When do we want it? No. So we have this here. So if I home, it should all home like it did the other day. Nothing's broken yet. No, I've just gone with normal end stops. Same error we had before. Someone left a comment about that, but I can't remember what it was. I guess we should be able to just send it a file. So profiles are built into Orca Slicer, which feels a bit random, but it is what it is. So we should be able to. I don't want to copy. Senseless homing does not make a printer better. It's actually typically less accurate as well, I think. One more thing to go wrong, you have to tune it to get it right. When end stops are just super easy. Easy, proven, reliable, consistent. Right. So we're going to go PLA. We're going to print a spool holder. I don't have a spool holder. I don't have a functional design, so we can't print a spool holder. Autodesk FDM test. That's going to take forever. Orca cube. In the cube. Or we could add a Benchy. Should we just do a Benchy? Because why the hell not? Pointy layer height, 100mm cube per second. What's the thing I'm concerned about is the fan. It's just going to go absolutely mental bananas. Is there any way you don't have to cut the diag pin? Oh, you don't have to cut anything. I just installed drivers and installed the end stops, and it just does it. Do we just send it like this? 36 minutes. That's some pretty sparse infill. Should be fine. 3 perimeters. Probably don't need 3 perimeters. We're not trying to make a pretty Benchy necessarily. I just want to see what it can do. We should probably do a first layer test first. I'm gonna do. Oh. Why is it? It seems to be. Oh, because it's doing to the edge of the bed, I think, as well. Okay, that plan didn't work particularly well then. Well, we don't need them to be perfect, so let's just plonk them manually. One here, one here, one here. One here, one here, one here, one here, and one here. So there's a bunch of printing and tuning we could do. I do want to do a test speed thing as well. I just want it to print. We don't need to do any of that extra tuning to get it to print. I have a feeling it's going to grind up the bed massively. But we don't know unless we try. We did level it last time, so it should be fine. I just have this feeling that it might not be. I've sent it to the machine. Unable to open the file. Wow. Okay. Oh, I think it's just re-uploaded the same file. Why can't it open the file? What is this nonsense? Anybody else seen this before? Oh, it's the virtual SD card rubbish. Right, we've got to hunt down this problem. Somewhere this is being defined where it shouldn't be. Ah, there's two lots in here. Is it going to show that anyway? Bed mesh profile. I don't know where it's going to get that from. What are we doing? Heating the bed to 60 degrees Celsius. That's hot. That nozzle is looking very close to the bed. I'm a bit nervous about it hitting the bed. We have more people joining in. Yay! Fingers crossed. We don't kill the printer on the first attempt. Extruder is heating to 220 degrees Celsius. These doors are kind of just going to be in the way. I might just take them off. Yeah, I'm not sure what the nozzle is doing there. Normally what I do when I get a new printer like this is I just go through and make all my new macros and stuff, or copy them from my old printers so they all do the same things at the same time and weight the same amounts, and then you get reliable results. Oh, I don't want to put my hands in, but it's going to... Eh? It's like 5 millimeters above the bed. Okay. Right. Y to the front. X to the middle. Bed down. Let's extrude. I'm not sure why the nozzle was so far from the bed. It was literally like 5 millimeters. At least. Oh, I think it might have been retracting as well. Shouldn't be. This is extrude and it's going in the right direction. There we go. We've got Uzi boys. So they've also, this is not set up with print start macros in the firmware like it should be for Klipper. It's been set up as if it was a Marlin printer. Probably just kind of brought over from an older version or something. So if we want to check that, we need to find it in here. Now I've not used Orca Slicer before, but I found it reasonably quickly. Raise nozzle, 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 nozzle. This is odd, isn't it? Let's just give a... If that's at... Z is at 0.2. Why is it 0.2 there? What the hell? That's right. What is this doing? I can't remember. Isn't G0 a set command? They're both moves. Machine G code. It doesn't even say which ones start, which ones finish. Oh, here we go. Yeah, start G code, end G code. I suspect this is doing a weird thing. Hello. Oh, there's more people joining. Let's change it to this. And let's just try this again. Upload and print. There's even a print start macro in here. What the McDickens is going on? Okay, M17, G28. Move the platform down. Right extrude 10, 0 extrude length again, intro line, 0 extended. Okay, so why is this not in the... Oh, give me strength. I don't understand why they've made the print start macros and they're not in the default profile of the slicer. Like they've done the hard work and then just pretended it doesn't exist. I know how to configure the bloody thing. Please don't tell me how to use it. So it's easy to filament. Why is it giving me that warning again? Okay, we've got filament coming out. And then it just goes really high. It is that G2. It just moves it up 2 millimeters for no reason. Oh, look at that. That's a big old splodge-a-rooney. Ooh, yeah. Look at that for some first layer porn. Look at that ooze. Jesus. It's still going. Yeah, as I was saying, the trouble with this printer and the way it's designed with the bed size and everything is that the nozzle can't move off of the bed. There's 235 mil of movement and a 235 mil bed. So if you want to do a nozzle wipe or anything, you have to have something that will move into that space and back out again. Whereas the Vorons are designed to have motion beyond the bed, so you get space to do things like that much more easily. So I think we can kind of just fix this. Well, let's just... Oh dear, this feels like a Creality situation. Bed temp, bed underscore temp. Equals, I can't remember what it is in here. Something like that. Extruder temp. Let's just save it quick. I believe we can get the parameters. Where's the here? Nozzle temperature initial. Can't we like nozzle temperature initial layer? Not the catchiest. And then for the bed is hot plate temp initial layer. Hot plate temp initial layer. Hopefully it's not case sensitive. And then we just take all this absolute rubbish and put that here. Take all this rubbish, delete it. Put that here, and all this, print end, and that should load. So when it starts, it will send this command. Oh, we need no space here. And that will trigger print start and send these two parameters, which will then get fed into here and used for this. And then at the end, it just runs this and boom, parks it all nice and safe and job done. And it won't just randomly jump 2 millimeters at the start for no apparent reason. So yeah, the oh god, what now? Nozzle temperature initial layer. That's exactly what it was called. Oh, does it have to be lowercase? Okie dokie. Okay. Oh yeah, sorry. So this is what I've done. The print start G code now just looks like that. So we've got the initial temperature in here for the nozzle, extruder temp, and then bed temp looks like this. And at the end we just send print end. And that way, when you slice it, it'll put those variables in. I'll export. In fact, no, I won't. What I'll do is I'll upload it to the printer and show you there. So here, can we just edit? That's the G code. What's it? Print start. There you go. Print start. Extruder temp equals 220. Bed temp equals 60. So that will run that print start macro. And that macro is the one that's saved in our macros. Macro here called print start. And at the end, it will run this print end one and do all these gubbins and things. I'm hoping these are sensible things to do. It looks like they are generally, although it does have a bed mesh, which we don't need. Anyway. All right, let's take that off of there. No. Oh, arse. Okay. No, it's done a similar thing, but it's not put the nozzle on the bed this time. I don't know if that's intentional or not. My goodness. So much oozing. Ooze control to Major Tom. So this is the prime layer, but it's not extruding very much filament. Yeah. We're under extrusion city now. But our first layer, height-wise, seems reasonable. Could be a bit of height issue too. I guess we should do a quick extrusion calibration. Right. That's a mess. Well, at least I can say I did a first print. I think that counts. We ran a G-code from start to end, and we printed some plastic. Right. The value chamber is not valid for heater. Okay, that's because we don't have a chamber heater. So, no, those G codes are okay. So let's do a calibration. Extrude 10. Okay. So get our tube. Need it longer than that. Where's my side cutups, please? This is my calibration tube. So now we run 100 millimeters through. Oh, no, we don't. Three, 4, 5. It's barely grabbing the filament. That's why. What's going on? Is it just jammed already? Wow, it's allowing me to extrude even though I'm at 100 degrees Celsius. Okay, well that's not very good. I don't know why it's allowing that. That shouldn't happen. Yeah, having a big retract at the end of the print would help prevent oozing. You've got to be careful though, because if you retract too much, then you end up with the hot molten filament in your heat break. And that's probably going to cause you problems. You're better off having an ooze puddle, a controlled ooze. Right, so let's do 10 millimeters. Okay, that's fine. 50 millimeters. Okie dokie. Let's have another go at this extrusion test. So we'll slow it down and extrude. Should have plenty of torque now. That's one. We'll do another one. Good evening, Ella. So that should be 100 millimeters. And we've only got less than half. We still have 103 millimeters left. Wow. Okie dokie. So started with 150. We were left with 103, I think it was, didn't I say? $103, which means we've extruded 47 out of 100. Extruder. We've got an 8-tooth. Oh no, we've got. This is an LDO motor. Rotation distance. What the hell? Does this go with this? There isn't one for this. Rotation distance 4.71. That's very different to 22, but it's more than we're going to need. previous. So we previously had 22.2 times the actual extrusion distance divided by the requested. Which 47 over 100 is about a half, so we're going to need somewhere about 11. But this is suggesting 4.7. I believe 50 to 8 is the correct gear ratio because the small gear has 8 teeth. So I'm assuming the big one always has 50. So this is probably right. And it's probably better up there. But 22 is not our rotation distance, and neither is 4.71. Unless the full steps for rotation is wrong. Here's a 1.8 degree separator. So it is 200 steps per rotation. Is there a default gear ratio? If a gear ratio is specified, the rotation distance specifies the distance the axis travels for one full rotation of the final gear. The default is to not use a gear ratio. Okay. So for some of the configurations, so this was part of this. So you would comment out both of them and use just the rotation distance instead of the gear ratio and the rotation distance. That is very confusing. If you're going to use it for all of them. If you're not going to use it, don't use it for any of them. Okay. Back to 220. Let's do another test. Ah, bloody hell, that motor's hot. Jesus Christ. I'm surprised that thing's not working. Do I still have 2 virtual SD card sections? I did before. Now I should only have 1. There's 1 here. The warning seems to have gone. But I'm going to change the extruder current is absolutely insane. It's only 0.5 and it nearly burned me. The motor is LDO. I'm not sure. I mean, it's got a spec on there. I can kind of... Let me see if I can read it. If I can read it and someone can write it down and... No, I better do it, because otherwise it'll just be wrong. Ugh. Right. 36 STH20. Thirty-six STH20. Print please has one. Caribou. Fabrico. Do they have current settings? No. Current 1000 milliamps. Yeah, I don't think so. Thousand and four is for 1000 milliamps. So it actually wants 1 amp and we're giving it 0.3 and it's going that temperature. Maybe it's fine hitting that temperature then, but I don't want my hands near it. That's for sure. Okay. One amp peak, so 0.7 RMS. Right. So 0.4 reasonable. Someone's just decided to run it at the max current permanently. Right, let's try that again. I don't like this. I don't like this. There needs to be a lever on this blooming thing. Why have it like this? You need to be able to do the things. Do the things what people do. I don't know why I'm doing weird voices today. This doesn't look much different to before. Pretty sure I saved it, didn't I? Right. Extrude 50 millimeters. I feel like it should be going faster, but it isn't. No, we're still doing absolutely nothing. This is absolute bonkers. Now even worse. Okay, that's 115. So extruded 35 millimeters now. So now we'll just do it properly. Basically, the values that are here don't seem to be correct. So we have 4.71 and we're going to change it according to this. There we go. Previous rotation distance, 4.71, times the actual over the requested. Actual is 35, requested is 100. So 4.71 obviously 35 out of 100 is 0.35, just so people know. And then 4.71 times 0.35, 1.6485. I'm just going to get rid of this because this just all sounds like nonsense. Max extrude only distance is set at 1,000. Okay, so we can do the 100 all in one go because it's been... Whoa! You ended up with 3.41. What motor and stuff did you have there, Greg? Because if you had different motor and extruder, then it's going to be different, obviously. Did it have really... Where's the min extrude temp? Have they really set that funky as well? Why? Why would you do that? No. Min extrude temp 0. What the f... Greg, I'm guessing that's because you had the gear ratio. If you still have gear ratio on, then yours is going to be much higher. I've integrated it all into the rotation distance because gear ratio doesn't need to be used. I think that's probably the difference there. Right. Let's try that again. Get the temperature up. Extrude. There we go. Once it hits 180, now we can retract. Rather than trying to freaking force filament through at 0 degrees. There we go. Is there any benefit to using gear ratio at all? Not that I'm aware of. The fact that the default Klipper configuration is to not use it suggests that you should just not use it. Right, much faster now. We're going so fast now that we're pushing disgusting looking gases out the nozzle. Yeah, this my config was from them as well, which has a whole load of bonkers stuff set in it. I'm almost tempted to just make my own from. What is going on here? This seems way hotter than 200 degrees. Machine extrude. What are we on? 220. We can just do 100 all in one go. Right, this is starting to look way more sensible. Now we have 49 millimeters, so slight over extrusion. We'll do another go. So 150, and then we got 49 left. Hang on. Yeah, 49 left. Which means we extruded 101 out of 100. So what's our current value? These just seems insane to have all of these in this file. I don't know what. Presumably this is because of the external drivers, but if they could be in a separate file, that would make this one much smaller. Yeah, I think all of these stuff you just don't normally need to set. 1.6485 times 1.01. Probably don't need all these decimal places, but right. I'm not going to test it again. Yeah, I pulled out all the macros too, Greg. It just made a macros file. So much simpler that way. In my mind, you should be able to basically take a macros file from one printer and dump it on another one, and they should all work within reason. Obviously, if it doesn't have a particular feature, then it won't work. But like, the best macros should all be variable driven in a separate file, so that you just take it from one printer, dump it on another, reads all the values, boom, still works. Obviously, if you don't have a nozzle scrubber, or you can't move to, like, I don't know, if you don't have a nozzle scrubber, it should just go no rubber nozzle scrubber, just move on. It should still work. Anywho, that's enough bitching and moaning. Let's have another go at this print. If you all can send me some likes, that would be grand. Like the smash button or whatever it is people say these days. I don't know, because I'm an old man now. It's time for some Oreos, I think. Java cakes are so good. I only bought Oreos this week because I've not had them in like 10 years. The ZN stop, I don't want to poke my fingers in because it's, let's try on the screen. It's about there on that post. But at the back is just because the Y end stop is at Y max, so it moves to the back to hit Y, over to this side to hit X, and it just happens to still be there when it does Z. It's not actually probing the nozzle. I forgot to load the filament. Doesn't work very well if you don't put filament in. Hello, video on a Sunday. Right, we're oozing like it's going out of fashion. Let's try that again. What did you miss? Oh, just the config and everything being wrong. And me whining like a little bit. There was a part of the start G code that moved the bed down 2 millimeters. So as soon as you started printing, it was 2 millimeters too high. What the hell? It didn't do this before, did it? Oh, this is just the heating. This is how much ooze you get. This is not even... This is not purge, it's just ooze. That's insane. Yeah, this is the problem. Now, the purge line doesn't work. Because it can't purge 100 meters of filament. 100 millimeters. Oh, yeah, it's managed. And we're off. And a surprise to absolutely nobody. The bed isn't level. Ooh, that's... Lars Hansen, thank you very much. Good luck with best wishes for the coming week. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. It'll be a bit of a stressful time, I think, but hopefully we'll make it through and we'll be back before too long. Right, that was a legit successful print. Now we can move on to the infamous Benchy. The Benchamus Maximus. If we can get this shite off the bed. Oh yeah, no hairspray for me. I've never used hairspray and never will. Curses the hairspray. It's Uranus, James. It's Uranus green. By whose nest? $70K, get the fuck out. Oh dear. I'm going to use the default profile because that's how you demonstrate a printer, by using what they tell you to use. So I hope for their sake it's reasonably fast. Normal printing is only 10K. That's not very fast, is it? This is their acceleration settings. I've not done any input shaper tuning or anything though either, so 20Ks for travel, 10Ks for printing. No input shaper. Maybe we'll juice this. Right, this will do for now. Maybe we'll do some... I know I said speed tuning. Maybe I've overcommitted on the speed tuning because we're already 2.5 hours in and the Benchy is going to take a little bit of time. Has the Usenet stuff been to print? Have you used it in the past? I have used Usenet filament for donkey's years. They don't provide me with it anymore, unfortunately, so I'm less inclined to promote it. But, you know, it is good stuff, so they do have a huge range of colours as well, and it's been really consistent for me. It's cardboard spools. For some people, they love it. For some people, they hate it. I think it's pretty good, though. Is that Orca Slicer? Yes. I'm new to Orca Slicer. I've not used it before today, really. So 30 minutes. I'm sure it can go significantly faster than this, but first prints and all that. First prints are generally down to confidence of the manufacturer, seller, reseller, creator, whatever. High level of confidence, super extreme profile, insane result. Not so confident, bit more conservative, not so extreme profile. Or it's just like designed to be reasonable, but I don't think any part of this printer is designed to be reasonable. It's designed to be extreme and super fast, hence the 4 stepper motors controlling the A and B. They are really good cardboard spools. They're really solid. Yeah, the ones from, what's that company? You know the one, James, probably. 3DHQF or something? 3DFHQ? No. Don't do this. Oh, no, 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 no. Getting filament out. 3DQF. No, their spools are naff. I didn't have great experience with their ABS either, to be honest. But I didn't like their spools. I only used one spool, and I'm happy to be proven wrong if my one spool experience was not great. Yeah, made out of spare cardboard, but they're just kind of flimsy and a bit wobbly, and whereas the Ooznest ones are like real compacted cardboard. The ABS is what I used. Maybe their PLA is better. I did try contacting them through their... Oh, they have a new AMS compatible spool, but it looks like the same as the last one. The Z motor calibration is wrong. It's moving like twice the distance. I did wonder, when I pressed the plus 25, it always looked like it was going further than it should be. You can see, let's try and show you. That was like a few layers in. You can see how fucking sparse and all over the shop it is. It's moving way too fast on the Z. Right, let's fix that. X, Y, Z. Is this correct? Yep. Rotation distance says 4. You're right in that it does seem to be drawing straight lines instead of going around curves. I don't know why. Maybe this is just Orca Slicer being a bit weird. Oh, I can't deal with Orca. I can't deal with Kira. Right, let's just check this. What can I check here? So that is at... Well, we'll measure it against the belt because it's an easy number. 60. That is now at 110. So 110 minus 60 equals 50, which is twice the distance that it should be going. So, what is it? Actual over requested, 50 over 25 equals 2. So we need to double the rotation distance. Why is the microsteps 32? There was 16 for the other one. Wasn't it? Somewhat. Either way, we've doubled the rotation distance. Oh, have they put a gear ratio on it? Is that what they've done? No, I don't think there's any more gear ratios. G-code arcs resolution 0.1. What's that gubbins all about then, hey? Oh, hang on a minute. That's for G2 and G3. Is Orca Slicer using G2 and G3 commands? Oh. Second screen. Console. G-code files. Edit file. G1. Oh. G2. It's using arcs. That's why we need to add arc support into Klipper. Arc movements. Oh, that's... Yes, it's this. G-code arcs. So, yeah, it's just this. Okay. Right. Again, this should all be, well, in my opinion, this should already be in this configuration file because their default slicer profile are using it. We'll just bang it here. G-code arcs, resolution 0.1. Because it was basically completely skipping over the arc command because it didn't know what to do. So it's just like, oh, well, I'm just going to go in a straight line and do a big ooze. Because I'm a Goliath and I like to ooze. I'm an ooze machine. You have a bigger pulleys on threaded rods than on motor. I can see that. You don't have to put a gear ratio in. We've just covered this. I don't think there's anything wrong with the G code, apart from the fact that it uses arcs, which we didn't really need to be doing. And our first layer was absolute naff as well. So I'm not sure quite what's going on there, considering the first layer test we just did was fine. I don't know what... It's never that easy to count, is it? I think they're 4 start, 8 mil lead. But it's the ones with the kit. So if it comes with the kit, surely that's the intended design. The kit needs to match the G-code, the software, the BOM, the manual, everything should match what the kit says. You follow the kit, you should have the perfect result. This is the point of the kit. Well, this is generally the point of kits. It is a kit, not just a bucket of parts that you can do whatever you like with. It's beta kit, yes, but it is being sold. If they were not being sold, then I would probably go a little easier. But people are spending money on these kits. So if people are spending money on them, you need to be delivering what is expected, I think. Whether there's some bits that are not there, that's fine. But I think there's quite a lot of bits. There's quite a lot of improvement that can still be done on these kits, in my opinion. You can definitely build a printer out of them. You can make a machine that looks good and works well. Don't get me wrong. You can achieve those things. But it's not driven by the kit. It's driven by your own creativity. Now, it's in a different position again. I think I know how I can fix it. Eek, eek, ee. Yeah, that's never coming off. Oh, God. I'm just going to leave it. It's just going to do its thing. It's way too close to the bed. But hopefully once it's done a few layers, that won't be a problem anymore. As long as it doesn't kill itself in the process. Sorry, I just realized. The volume level's pretty high. Hopefully you can see that. It's going a bit broken. Hang on a second. The batteries are too low, so it's not getting a reading. But I think, as you saw, I think it's about 91 decibels, which is loud enough that you should be wearing hearing protection when using it. Oozing my religion. I don't know what's going on, but the walls are like ripples and everything. I think it just needs that acceleration tuning. This is probably 100%. Yeah. That's 24% now. But it's just going to go straight back up to 95. I think it's now over extruding. I really don't know. It's difficult to tell when it's just going so fast and I can't really get very close. There's definitely going to be more work done on this machine. It's got a lot of potential, but it's going to need some tuning. Obviously, that's kind of the thing with printers. You would have thought the VZ team would have got a kit to build and test. Well, someone on the team definitely did, because I talked to them about it. They built it quite quick, but I don't know if they've fully built it completely 100%. Like, they worked through the mechanical parts. There's actually lots of printers. I don't know why. I know you can't hear the printer, but I still have to shout to be able to hear myself. There's lots of these being built by the team. I can't tell you much more about it, but I think I've fairly demonstrated the full experience at this point. this is the current status. My plan is to write up a bit of a blog about it, and then hopefully do a video based on that. So the write-up is going to be on my website, which I'll try to release sooner rather than later. I don't know if I'll get it finished this week, in which case it'll be maybe a month or something. I don't know when I'm going to be back working again. But I'm going to try to get that there as soon as I can. And that'll just give you a bunch of tips and advice for anyone building it. There'll be feedback directly to the VzBot team, to Simon and Guillaume, who built this, designed this. So hopefully they'll be able to integrate some of my feedback if they think it's appropriate, if it's what they want. And if not, then I'll publish, well, either way, I'll be publishing STLs for modified parts and some improved design based on my opinions, to hopefully help anyone else that's looking to get one. Other than the build experience, Rex says the printer is amazing both in form and function. I'm hoping it will be once I've done some tuning. It's so loud. I don't think it needs 100% fan. But fan speeds are slightly mental. Slightly mental. The trouble is, oh, you can't see it here. As soon as I lower it down, it goes to the next layer and it'll just automatically speed back up again. So that's down to 10% fan. And what I was doing, I did it just now, and there you go, it goes straight back up to 99%. It's actually quite large. I think a Voron 250 is probably similar size or smaller. I'm not exactly sure. They might be 300, but I don't think it's quite as big. $430. Yeah, so this is about 430. The 300 is about 480. So this would be similar size to a Voron 250, which is going to be about 50 mil less than the 480. The back is large, though, you're right. The back, including the knobs, is, well, and all the way to the front, is 580, which is a lot. The Voron 2.4 is about 460. Well, it's about 480 both ways, probably. 460, 480, something like that. I think this needs... we'll take it a little bit down. I think power supply should go under here, with ventilation at the sides. That will give you more space at the back and a smaller, thinner back. So you can still do the back maintenance. So you don't have to flip the printer over to do most of the maintenance. You shouldn't need to change the power supplies very often. Rarely, if ever. So, yeah, I think power supplies underneath, mount the low voltage wires up to the back, deal with all the low voltage stuff there, and then have a skirted surround in a single panel enclosure with like a 120mm fan on the back, and that does all your cooling for the enclosure and the boards and everything. But again, it's not my printer, so I can't decide how these things are going to be from the kits or anything. I can provide suggestions, but it's up to the Vz team to decide how they want their printer to be. I shall be back in a few minutes, but I'll leave you watching this. Right. It has slowed down somewhat, hasn't it? I think it's just slowed down because of the layer time. The fan is at 99%. Trust me, it's still pretty loud. That's not very good bridging either. It's almost too much cooling. It's solidifying it in its drooped state. If it cooled slower, it would contract more, I think. And then it tightens up. Yeah, sorry, you can probably just hear me shouting. Has the fan dropped? What do you mean by the... No, speed hasn't dropped. You can barely hear the mechanical noise of the printer just because the fan is so loud. I'm trying to work out exactly where the noise is coming from. I mean, obviously it's the CPAP, but like, if I stand behind the printer, the device itself is making barely any noise. I mean, it's loud, but it's not. It's the exit of the air and transition through this tube or something. Does the printer move while printing? At these speeds, no. Or accelerations, no. But I'm sure with much higher accelerations, you could get it to jiggle. Ah, I wonder what if that's what that part is for. Maybe that goes up there. Ah, my ears. Look at that ooze. That's some absolutely mental ooze. Now, can I get the print off of here? Because that first layer really jammed in there good and proper. Yes. But I suspected the surrounding filament, which was not attached to the print, will be stuck there for quite some time. Yeah, you just need to print over the top of it and it'll pull it out. Not a great Benchy, really. It's very weebly wobbly. I think it's something here. I don't know if it's the tube, or the mends, or the rail. It could be preload on the rail not being tight enough. Let's see if I can get you some close-up of this Benchy. Oh, let's do the water bottle test. That's what we normally do. And then this is going to be it for today. It's 3 hours in. Oh, it's 20 to 7 already. I can't run at 20 to 7. It doesn't work. Normally I do my run at like 6, but obviously the stream went a little bit longer than planned. There's just quite a lot of vibrations and stuff on it. Ghosting and whatnot. Obviously we need to turn on input shaper and those sorts of things. It's not bad, but considering the extreme performance of the machine or the extreme target, he's just gonna need tuning. It's well, look, that's how close the first layer was. All the text is just mashed into that layer. No text. That's how close it was. Speed obviously varies. I think it was set at something like 200. That's your speeds, 200, 250. First layer 120. And then I set acceleration at 1020k. I mean, maybe I overdid the acceleration, considering we've got no input shaper. I'm not sure. I think additional preload on the X-rail would be useful because I think there's quite a bit of wobble here, which is causing motion there. I think we also need to take the levers off the switches and adapt the triggers to hit the actual grey part of the switch rather than the bendy lever, because I think bendy lever is causing some imprecision, specifically on the Z end stop switch. I think the reason we had one good one and then one that was just mashed into the bed is because if that lever triggers in a slightly different position or bends a bit different, I don't know, it shouldn't, but it is a bit bendy, so maybe it sometimes catches on the edge of the screw and sometimes it slips, and I don't know, all sorts of reasons maybe. Anyway, not for me to worry about particularly. I don't know what the spec of the rails is. The rails were all pre-assembled to the tubes and stuff, so the mechanical assembly for the machine was pretty fast. I think if I knew what I was doing, it would be pretty quick, very quick. But the electronics, no, that took a while. I'd be happy to work with them and see if I can help design some extra bits for you. But again, you must remember, it's not my printer. I mean, this is my printer, this specific one, but the whole VZ lot obviously belongs to Simon, presumably. Vz3D. I mean, I don't know the exact ownership details, to be clear, but Guillaume designed the 235, where I think Simon mostly designed the 330. Anyway, doesn't really matter who designed what. That's going to be it from me today, though. We didn't do much super speedy testing, unfortunately. We didn't really have time. Sorry about that. But you did get to see it print, even though it wasn't super spectacular. Hopefully, maybe. I'm looking quite busy between now and Wednesday. If I can squeeze in a stream to do some just testing. So maybe like input shaper. I really think input shaper should be mounted at the tip of the nozzle on this printer, just because it is so long and it's so flexible. So flexible, it's like potential wobbles. Input shaper and then XY speed. We use the test speed macro where it does the zippy, 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 zippy. I guess we could do flow rate test as well. Right. I'm pretty sure the test speed macro is Andrew Ellis's one. If not, very similar. I've got a custom one that's as well, so I might use that. Yeah, the end stops are a bit vulnerable when you use them, but it is what it is. Right, I'm definitely going now. Don't forget to buy stuff at vector3d.co.uk. Physical orders will be available for the next couple of days. Well, Monday, well, today and Monday at the latest, probably. Orders placed Wednesday probably will not go out. Orders placed Tuesday might go out. So orders placed Monday is your best bet. Digital stuff will be carrying on, so you don't need to worry about that. Happy printing, everyone. Enjoy your kits. You've got links in the video description. Thank you to Mello and the VZ team for sending me this kit. It's been a really, really experience. Some parts have definitely gone better than others, but I'm really glad to have built it, and I appreciate that I've been one of the first few lucky to have one. So I very much appreciate that. Hopefully my feedback will be helpful in the development of the machine going forwards, and we can improve the kit for all the future purchases. And I shall maybe see you again this week. If not, see you in a little while on the internet somewhere. Cheerio! Enjoy the rest of your weekend, or whatever. Goodbye.